Hey guys, this is Lady Bobanian coming to you from my car in the great state of Texas. I am now leaving Kroger. I decided I would make another video on the way back home. I do want to put a disclaimer out there that I cannot diagnose anyone. I am not a psychologist or a psychiatrist. I don't claim to be an expert on narcissism. I am not that at all. I am just a regular person who has to deal with a toxic individual who I suspect to be pathologically narcissistic. This video, I want to delve into why I made this channel. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there that deal with pathological narcissism and narcissists, toxic people, high conflict people, but there's only a few that really touch on what happens when the suspected pathological narcissist is a person that you have to share children with. One of the first things that people will say to those who are in an abusive situation, and even a situation where there is narcissistic abuse, is, well, woman/man, you need to up and run. Well, when you have kids, it's not that easy. Now, if your lives are in grave danger, yeah, you need to find a way to bug out as soon as you can. Contact your nearest woman's shelter or homeless shelter. You know, get the information together as discreetly and safely as you can. And even in that situation, I'm not going to advocate, okay, get up and run now, because some people aren't able to do that. They might not have transportation. They might be very isolated and be away from that transportation. They might, like myself, have become trapped due to financial abuse. Now, the suspected narcissist in my life talked me into staying home, relaxing from a stressful job, and that led to discussions about having kids. He told me his mom was a stay-at-home mom, so he had nothing at all against that. He didn't mind that. He didn't mind me being a stay-at-home mom. But guys, I should have never, maybe not never quit my job, but definitely should have never left the workforce and believed this person that everything was going to be okay. I had nothing to worry about, and he was completely fine with that, because what ended up happening is that when he would get into one of his moods, usually fueled by some sort of alcohol or some sort of incident at work or a string of incidents at work that was frustrating him, he would say that I just sat home all day and I was lazy and this and that, and I didn't give him sex and stuff like that. And it couldn't possibly be because he was starting to prove difficult to deal with. It couldn't possibly be because of his increased bouts of drinking morning, noon, and night. Oh no, it couldn't have possibly been that. But anyway, you get stuck in these situations, so telling someone to get up and run, that's not always the best answer. Now, eventually, yeah, I do believe, in my opinion, that you're going to need to get out of that situation if you want to make it. Because if you don't lose your life, you're going to lose your mind. So, once you are out, let's say, whether you're married to this, or were married to this person, or just end up having kids with them, you still have to deal with custody a lot of the time. What I found when I was trying to navigate the legal system was that you have to have a lot of substantial evidence and make a good argument with that evidence if you want to reduce someone's parenting time. You just can't say, oh, they're a narcissist. That's not going to work in court. People are going to go, what? What's that? A lot of people aren't familiar with that term, or if they are, they've heard it used with no substance, no diagnosis to back it up. And even if there's a diagnosis, they want to see how the other parent is being abusive or neglectful. If you just say they were abusive to you, then it's going to be like, okay, well, where's police reports, and can you show me how this is going to affect the children? Have the children been impacted? So yeah, someone can abuse you, but if they haven't abused the children, Now, every judge is different, every court is different, so I'm not going to say people aren't going to care, but from my experience, I can tell you they generally don't care, and you're there to divide property and come to an agreement about custody if you have children. That's it. They want you off the docket. They want you off the docket as quickly as possible. Court moves very fast. Well, in court, things move very fast. Outside of court, they can drag and drag, as some of you know. But, yeah, so, dealing with a person who you have to share kids with, who is toxic and who is adversely impacting the kids is very tough. A lot of people will tell you to be the bigger person, but when you're the bigger person and you accommodate and you're flexible and you communicate, that just really serves you. It doesn't really serve you well. It doesn't serve you at all. It just gets you walked all over. You have to have boundaries. You have to enforce those boundaries. You have to be willing to enforce those boundaries in court, which is a problem because that costs money. It costs money and time, and if you're working 1, 2, 3 jobs, especially as a single parent, even as a parent with a significant other or who's remarried again, there's a lot of responsibility put on your shoulders when you have a suspected narcissist for the other parent. And it definitely doesn't help when they get new supplies who want to save the narcissist, who wants to fix the narcissist, just think that you're evil and you just want to keep that narcissist from his kids. Oh boy, that just adds in a whole new level of fun. That's what I'm dealing with right now. I'm dealing with 2 freaking idiots who think they know best for myself and for the kids. It's hilarious. These people who spend very little time with our kids, and even when they do spend time with them, they're not really paying attention to them. They're paying attention to the baby of the new supply. So yeah, the kids are happy that they're just able to spend time with the new supply who they like, and their dad, the suspected narcissist. But it's just breadcrumbs. They suck as parents, guys, and those new supplies who want to be in charge and act like they're the boss of you. Poof. Oh my goodness. That's the one that I'm dealing with. If you have quaint, nice mice like women, be very thankful for that. I mean, it sucks that they're, little pushovers and stuff like that, and that they're meat, but hey, you don't want one who's a raging lunatic. In my opinion, based on what I've seen. She's very stubborn and set in her ways, and I can be stubborn and set in my ways. I'm not going to lie, but I at least have a basis for it. I'm not going all out in left field trying to prove myself. I just want to live my life with as little drama as possible. And, this new supply, she likes to insert herself where she doesn't belong, but the narcissist has elevated her to number 1 and married her, and she thinks that she's the bee's knees and she's gonna help save the narcissist. So yeah, when you're dealing with that, it's really difficult. But I'm learning a lot about myself. I'm learning how to manage my own emotions and manage myself so that I respond versus reacting. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to look the fool and be out of character and end up in court with your rights reduced or taken away because that suspected narcissist was able to convince a court of law that you need to have your visitation, your possession time reduced or terminated or whatever. And they're going to lie on you. That's another thing. I know there's some contention and tension in divorces in general, but suspected narcissists take it to a whole new level. They do what's called the smear campaign, where they smear your name and talk all sorts of ish about you to anyone and everyone who will listen. They're not shy about lying. They'll lie to someone's face. They'll lie to a cop. They'll lie to the judge. They'll lie to their lawyer because they want to maintain their image and decimate yours. And so you're trying to deal with all this and work and make a way for yourself and your kids, and you're told to be the bigger person. But that other person can get away with literally murder sometimes, you know? But yeah, I'm almost home, thank goodness. I'm glad I can go back to this house. The suspected narcissist wanted me to move out so he could have the new supply and her baby move in. So I'm sure that they would have turned one of those rooms into a room for the new supplies baby and made our children share one room. I'm very sure of it. I'm sure the house would have been wrecked even further than it was when the ex-husband was living in the marital home. I don't think he would have taken care of that house. He initially promised that he was going to, refinance, and I had to explain to him that I wasn't going to accept that proposal unless he wanted to give me equity. He said I didn't deserve any, and that set that off. For one thing, I just wanted to negotiate to show that I was willing to negotiate. I knew dang well he wasn't going to be refinancing. He was just going to string me along and tell me that he was, and then expect me to just back off. Well, no, sir, I didn't believe a word out of his mouth. I told him that. I told him I don't trust you. So no, I do believe that I should be the one to keep the house. Now, I'll make a deal with you that if I don't refinance in my name in a couple of years, we'll sell the house or whatever. Sure, but I wasn't about to move out of the house so that he and the new supply can move in. Are you kidding me? Kick myself and our children out, and then when I brought this up to him, he was like, "Oh, well, the children can stay with us." I'm like, H no, and let this woman that you barely know, that you married 2 months after you divorced, take care of our kids, 24/7, and then have me be the non-custodial parent? Oh no, sir. No, sir. No, ma'am. Was it going to happen over my dead body? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. I was not going to allow that. So yeah, I got a lot to be frustrated about, but I'm trying to get less frustrated and focus on myself. I've been doing better in the writing department. I really need to finish up some articles and start on 2 more for this upcoming week so I can meet the obligation in my contract. But anyway, guys, thanks for joining me. I'm about to pull up to my house. Thanks for listening to me rant. I'm sorry if I'm not as insightful as other people. I am trying to give some strategies based on my personal experience with a suspected narcissist. But like I said, I'm just a regular person. I'm learning as I go. I'm not perfect. That's why I'm in therapy. I'm trying to work on myself, work through things, get to the bottom of things, and hopefully become a better person. And you see, that's the thing, guys. You might come out of a abusive relationship or a narcissistic abusive relationship all downtrodden, but don't stay down. Get up and do something for yourself. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit subscribe to keep up with me, and hit the bell to get notified of new videos. This is Lady Baden signing off. Yeehaw!